My name is Derek Cox. I'm based out of Indianapolis, and I'm a freelance photographer. I do a lot of nature photography, and I like to involve just like people in my nature shots.
My name is Jaytel Provence. I'm a photographer shooting mainly night photography here in Indianapolis. Anytime past sunset, I don't know, I just feel more natural when it's at night. I just feel like I'm having all these ideas sort of rushing about immediately what I can shoot, and ideas for when I get back to editing.
My name is David, and I am a software developer who also takes photos, and I'm based out of Indianapolis. I like to take street photography, mostly some urban and also architecture, but it's mostly revolved around street. I think in terms of street photography in general, I like more darker photos, and I like to focus on shadows. So a lot of my photos are very film grainy type photos. I started on film, so that's what I'm used to, and I like to focus on the darker parts.
For what I do, I feel like with nature stuff, it's kind of, I mean, for me in Indiana, it's like there's not a lot of spots to shoot. I feel like I've shot a lot in Indiana, so it's really just getting out and finding different spots.
I think just really, like, even if it's a shot that I have seen before on Instagram, just like looking at it and saying, like, how can I make this different, or how can I make it push sort of the boundary of reality a little bit. Just how to make it different than other people's, I guess. I don't know. I think it varies.
I think Indianapolis is challenging, yet it's also a lot of fun because there aren't a lot of street photographers in Indianapolis, so it feels like I can really show people what Indianapolis could look like in photos, and it's not like New York where there are street photographers everywhere, so it's kind of fun to be able to share that.
Honestly, I feel like it's different for everybody. For me, I feel like it's totally like how you use your equipment. I mean, some people are all about equipment, like they have to have the best stuff. But for me, it's honestly like there can be a photographer that has half the cost of what somebody else has and could be shooting better, or, you know, it's to the same quality as that. It's totally how like you use your equipment, for sure.
I think film is important because, you know, it's the foundation of like how photography started, and it really hones the basic of like ISO, aperture and the shutter speed. So I think starting with film really helps you get that foundation before you move on to digital, because you can rely on the current tools. Initially I thought film was harder, but as I started to do more and more photography, I feel like digital's harder in a sense that there's more creativity involved in how you can challenge yourself with the current tools. So I like the innovation that is going on.
I think you really have to, maybe it's a little cliche, but kind of just immediately learn your camera. And I think you could really start on either side, but whether you're editing or your camera side, just learn one of those first, like the back of your hand, know every single thing about it, so that like eventually you can start focusing on like not even having to focus on the camera, and you can more focus on your vision in the shot and editing it. And it truly is a lot easier once you get into editing and like you just know exactly what to do on how to achieve like what you're trying to go for. It just makes everything a lot easier.
My advice would be to always challenge yourself and be creative.
My big thing is don't compare yourself to anybody. Honestly, like I said, everybody's different. So like it's totally like what you enjoy, and don't get like wrapped up in like the social media stuff, how people look at your stuff. If you're like not getting likes on Instagram or stuff like that, it's totally like what you want to shoot. That's what makes it fun for me, for sure.